Hey there, it's Workbench with Workbench Quagmire, back with day 58 of our free code camp Python certification in 100-ish days. Today, like I said last time, we were going to pick up here. I got hung up on this level up method. And so the issue, you can see here, congratulations, your code passed. The issue was we were defining this as a setter, and the print statement, apparently, when I did some Googling about it, wouldn't actually print because it was defined as a setter, because we're supposed to be setting things, and I guess you can't print. So I just removed the level dot setter property here, and everything worked. So we're going to submit and continue, and start up here on our what is inheritance and how does it promote code reuse. So inheritance is the next key concept of object-oriented programming we'll cover. Let's take a deeper look at this concept and how it lets you write reusable code. With inheritance, a subclass or child class can use the attributes and methods of a base class or parent class. This allows you to reuse code, create clear class hierarchies, and customize behaviors without rewriting everything. You can customize by extending existing methods or overriding them in the child class. Here's a basic syntax for inheritance. So we have the parent class, attributes and method, child class has to have the parent class as here, whatever that means, shows what class it inherits from. So for our child class to inherit from parent class, you have to pass the parent to the child. This style is called single inheritance since a child class inherits from exactly one parent class. Here's an example. We have an animal class. The animal has a name. It makes a sound. And then we have a dog that has this class attribute of woof, woof, woof. And then we have Jack the dog. And so Jack can make a sound, which Jack just makes a sound. And then Jack could also bark. You can see that we're able to reuse the self-name attribute and the sound method from the parent animal class and the child dog class. Let's override the sound method from the parent animal class in the child dog class so we can have sound use the bark class variable. So we have the same setup here for our animal, but then on our dog, we have our class attribute here, and then we override, basically rewrite this sound method with our specific thing for our dog class. So now we have Jack the dog, and when Jack the dog makes a sound, Jack actually barks. If you want to keep the return value of sound and add the bark class variable later, you can extend sound by using the super function. So we have the class animal. This is all the same. And if we want to return the value of sound and add the bark class variable later, you can extend the sound. So here we have our class attribute, and then here we have call animal.sound, then append bark. So base equals super sound, but then we return base, then self, then name. So now we get Jack the dog, Jack the dog sound, which Jack makes a sound, then Jack barks woof woof. Okay. So basically when you use base here, it's going to return the original return, but then we also include this new portion here. So this example base is the result of calling the sound method from the animal class, and then we append the dog class's specific sound to it. This way you can extend the functionality of the parent animal class while still keeping its original behavior. There's also multiple inheritance where a child class can inherit from more than one parent class. Here's an example, a basic syntax of multiple inheritance. So we have a class parent, we have a class child, Then we have grandchild, and we inherit from both of those. Grandchild inherits from both parent and child class. Grandchild can combine or override behavior from each. A simple way to demonstrate inheritance is, sorry about that, with the frog, which can both walk on land and swim in water. So walker is a class where we define walk. I can walk on land, and swimmer is I can swim on water. The amphibians inherit from both walker and swimmer. So amphibian, walk and swimmer. So we give our amphibian a instance name, instance attribute of name, and then we introduce ourselves and say, I'm self-named the frog, self-walk, self-swim. And so we're able to use both of those methods from the parent classes for multiple classes. And so we get our frog, Freddy the Frog. And so the Freddy the Frog introduces himself. He uses all that stuff from all those classes. So let's do our quiz. What is the primary purpose of inheritance in object-oriented programming? To create identical copies of a parent class? Nope. To allow a child class to reuse and extend attributes methods from a parent class? I think that's correct. To make all methods in a class private? No. To prevent code duplication by merging unrelated classes? Nope. I think it's choice 2. Was the multiple inheritance in Python a child class inheriting from one parent, a parent class with multiple child classes? Nope. A child class inheriting from multiple parent classes? I think that's correct. And a class that cannot inherit at all? That's not true. How do we make a child class inherit from a parent class in Python? By calling parent inherit child? By copying all methods manually? Nope. By using the extends keyword? Nope. By passing the parent class as an argument to the child class. Let's see what we got. There we go. Hip, hip, hooray. We're done with that section. So this is all we're going to cover for today. I think the next section is going to be about as long, if not a little bit longer. And I always strive to keep these videos short, and I always fail. So today we're going to succeed by keeping this short. And next time we'll talk about what is polymorphism and how does it promote code reuse. See you then.